Still be 309.
You fell for it.
I did. Stick a quarter in your ass
because you played yourself.
All right, now this time I'm gonna do it different. This time I'm hitting the tweet button right now. Ha ha! Now I don't even have to worry about that. Now I do this. This.
Now I get nude.
Now I get nude. All right. Please work this time. 3, 2, 1. No, I lied. I gotta. Okay. Now it's the truth.
I'll never
3,
trust you again.
Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 755, the Morlul Podcast. The Go Nintendo Podcast is a proud partner of the Greenlit Podcast Network at greenlitpodcasts.com. That's the first time I made it through that without screwing up.
Oh, that's right.
Great job. Well done.
It's the Morlul Podcast. Mom Brain, do you want to tell us a little more about Morlul?
Sure.
A little more?
Tell us a little more about Morlul.
More lull. It's like, we need more lulls. More lull scatters
That's
spores.
what this podcast is all about.
Which reminds me, I have to talk to you about something I watched last night.
Am I in trouble?
I'm talking to Kirby.
Oh.
I already talked to you about what I watched last night. I had to talk to my mother about it this morning. More lull scatters spores that flicker and glow. Anyone seeing these lights falls into a deep slumber.
So like the Lunesta butterfly.
Amen.
Which was actually a moth.
They're not even an inch high. They're 3 pounds, so they're pretty dense.
Whoa.
They're illuminating, and their abilities include Effect Spore and Illuminate. And that's what I've got for you.
You think?
You know what? I'm not even going to move.
You think
Thanks, Mom Brain.
You think Morlul is a member of the Illuminati?
For sure.
All right, for those watching live right now, in case we fart out, I want to say at least 3 hours of testing last night to get everything in order. Thanks, Josh. To see what was causing the live stream issue. I, of course, couldn't get it to replicate last night, but I tried every different setting. I tried a whole bunch of stuff. And I let each stream go for more than 20 minutes to make sure, because 20 minutes seemed to be the cutoff point where it was getting issues. So what I did this week is I made sure everything was up to date, and we are hardwired into the internet. No more Wi-Fi.
Amazing.
I think the Wi-Fi might have been the issue because the computers and everything else. Now we're hardwired in. We have 150 meg download and 50 upload. We should be more than fine. Fingers and toes crossed. We'll see what happens. Yes, today Mom Brain is on soundboard duty. She got a taste of it that one episode, and now she wants more. So we're gonna trade off.
I'm the best.
between weeks. And Kirby can just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Yes, thank you, really, Saria. Promises. I know. You don't know how much of a headache this has been for me all week. I've been worried about it so much. During the week, I put in a whole bunch of research to see who else is having this problem. Why would this happen? What could cause this? And I went all over the place, all over Reddit, talked to a few different people too. And anything that was suggested as a problem wasn't the problem. And like I said, when I tested 3 times, and each time was fine. So I don't know. I think it's you guys, honestly, not you at the table. I think it's the watchers.
Yeah.
The watchers. Speaking of the watchers, hi, Autumnal Blake and Hylane Tom and Giant Reggie and Spam and Freddie Fro and Ridley Saria and Ash Haxum and Shillelagh. And did I say Giant Reggie? And Roth and Nader Die. And whoever else, Nico Darunia, whoever else I didn't see in here, thanks for joining us today. Hopefully, we can have you with us the whole time. Freddie Frost says, guys, would RMC think it's funny if we just started to act like the stream was messing up, or would he maybe explode? I can see the humor in it, but I would most likely be sad rather than explode.
No!
Hello, Dimitri. Thanks for joining us. I see you there. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way in the beginning because it's been a running theme for the last 2 weeks, which has made me very sad because I love doing the show live with you guys. Roth says, I'm really liking a Discord update, making the compact mode even more compact. I haven't even had a chance to really dig into the new stuff. Spam says, my wife wants to say hello to Mom Brain because she wants to be best friends.
Okay.
Wow.
Come The door is wide open.
Do you like cats? Do you like naps? Do you like cat naps? Well, Mom Brain is the friend for you.
I mean, come on. Can we talk? Speaking of cats, can I talk about what I need to talk about?
Speaking of cats, I love cats. I love every kind of cat.
About cats. Cats.
Spam says, I don't know if this is true. Spam says, we have 12 cats.
That's too many.
Spam, is your wife a cat?
You lucky person.
All right, Mom Brain, go ahead. I know
Okay.
I know this is what's the word? I'll think of it. You go ahead.
Okay, so I love me a good documentary.
Traumatizing.
And I also really love like serial killers and like all that kind of, I'm interested in. I can't say I love. It's very interesting to me. Kind of coincides with like what I do for a living with like behavior analysis and whatnot. So it's very interesting to me. So upon recommendation from Kirby last night, I decide to watch Don't F with Cats. Now, I didn't really know a whole lot about the nuts and bolts of the show, except that I know that like that's an internet thing. Don't F with cats.
Before Mom Brain started watching, because I was working, I was like, are you sure you want to watch this? Do you know what this is about? And she said, yeah. And I was like, okay.
So if you don't know what it is, I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Yeah, I kind of wish, sorry to interrupt, but I kind of wish that I hadn't watched the trailer or any, or I wish I had gone in cold so that, I probably would have been more surprised at points.
So
but anyway.
Hi, Malik Halo.
So I turn it on and I'm going to say this as like nicely as I possibly can without like upsetting people. But the premise is that there's this killer and it all kind of starts with this group of people trying to figure out who posted this video of this person torturing kittens. I'm going to just keep it very plain and simple. And I knew that I couldn't watch that part, like, and they show the video, and this is real. It's a documentary. So they show the video. I don't know what
they don't show the entire video.
Yeah, I don't know because I closed my eyes because I knew I couldn't see it. And then I got worried that I would hear the kittens. So I had to like I'm like crying talking about it. So I had to like plug my ears because I was afraid that I was going to hear something. And I thought, well, this part will be over like really fast. And then they're just like establishing the story. And then it just keeps happening. And I keep closing my eyes and closing my ears and closing my eyes and closing my ears. And then I started to get chest pains and I had to turn it off.
So I'm in the other room. I'm in my office working and I can hear her watching the documentary and I hear like cats meowing. I was like thinking to myself, let's see how long this goes on for before Mom Brain stops. And then I heard like everything stop. I was like, well, she's done. And then she came into my office. It was like, you needed a hug.
I was clutching the cat.
Oh, that's right. You were carrying the cat.
As tight as he would allow me to clutch him. And I was telling him that no one would ever hurt him because I just felt like he needed to hear that and I needed to say it. And then we had to watch videos of cats snoring and capybaras taking hot baths.
I put videos of capybaras taking baths on my second monitor and it took about 15 minutes and then she was good.
And then I was done, but I can't watch it. I can't. I think the subject matter is so cool. And if it had been anything else, I could have done it. But it was so just don't watch it.
Yeah, I kind of, maybe I shouldn't have recommended it.
I like how you said this podcast was for the lulls and we're talking about cat torture.
Of the horror one with the lull guy.
Oh,
I did it all for the lulls, and then you.
What was that called? Was it called Smiley or something?
Yeah.
Oh God,
a terrible horror movie.
Yeah, not a documentary.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mom Brain. I should have
loved it without that.
Okay, yeah, but I should have.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the crux of the.
You would have a very strong reaction to the subject matter.
It was. I had a bad one last night too, for the record.
Moving on to nicer stuff. Well, first off, Steel Diver. Steel Diver says, could you please use the old GoNintendo podcast theme on the recorded episode? You got to tell me what one you're talking about, my friend.
Tasty.
Because there's been a couple. And I want to say one of them we were using, and I believe it was Games Radar was like, they stole our podcast intro. And
really?
I've never listened to their podcast ever. So, it can't just be, hey, did you know we have the same intro? It was like, why would you steal our intro? It's always got to be right off the bat. You did something on purpose to be mean. So, but I
how dare you steal from us?
I have
games radar,
where we have all the games on our radar. I have.
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
Thanks, Josh. I was going to say hello to you in a second. Now you completely ruined my train of thought.
Who did?
It's gone.
Didn't we have a theme song? Oh, I'm sorry. Keep
now
going.
we have the wonderful theme from Name of Austin, which is honestly my favorite theme by far.
I like them all.
Absolutely love that song. I really
remember the one that was like,
"Hello, Lanquin. Good to see you."
You know, you are listening to the GoNintendo podcast. All your ears belong to us, or something.
Well, we did have the one show that was introduced by Billy Mays as well, which I'd have to go back.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Hunt that down. I don't remember what.
And wasn't there like a really good outtake where he was like, "Ha!"
He did it extremely loud, and then he was like, "Wait, was that good?" And then he did it again like 3 times louder. So he was like, he knows. Well, rest in peace. Billy Mays knew his thing was being loud. And he did it the first time and was like, that just wasn't loud enough. I need that Billy Mays energy. There was something else I was going to say. Well, anyway, since we were talking about shows, before we get into news, there is a lot of news. But before we get into news, let's talk about some other stuff. This week was the series finale of The Good Place. What a great show.
Wow, Dorothy just texted me that she watched it.
I have never seen I said this on Facebook, I've never seen a show that really makes me think about my real life day-to-day interactions as much as that does. And I've never seen a show where it really makes you want to be the best person you can be. And besides all that, the show is very funny. The show's a comedy. And I really like I really liked the humor and the characters and all that stuff.
I mean, you could definitely, benefit from being a better person, Rami.
Thank you.
I got to be honest, you're kind of a jerk.
I am the world's worst person, but I'm getting better from watching that show. So it was bittersweet to see it go, but I can really appreciate a show that is like, this is what we want to do. This is the story we want to tell, and we are done after this season.
Yeah,
and that's what they did.
I haven't even watched the show, but like,
strongly recommend it.
Oh yeah, I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's all streaming on Netflix eventually. I think the first 3 seasons are there right now, or Hulu, one or the other. And then the 4th season will be there. And like I said, they're only half-hour episodes minus the finale, so you can blow. It's like 22 minutes each episode.
Yeah, but I remember like what the I remember seeing what the creators had said. They were like, this is we have a definitive ending and this is it, and you know the show's over.
I like that. I really do like that
because that doesn't happen very often in television.
No, I think when you get a creator like him, Mike Schur or whatever his name is, he's had enough hits under his belt where he can go into a network and be like, listen, I have an idea for a show and this is what it's going to be, and then I'm done with it. When most of the time a network will get a hit and be like, let's drive this baby into the ground and keep going. And the creators don't really kind of lose control of it. Really. They're like, or they get, dump trucks of money driven up to their house and like $3 million for another season. Yeah, we could crap out another season.
Not going to name names,
but yes, excellent show. Very funny. And they did like a little 15-minute live cast gathering after the finale, which was also very heartwarming, and I cried at that.
Me too.
It's really good. So if you haven't watched that, watch that. And now one more show that I need to talk about, that Kirby saw, that I saw, that Mom Brain saw, which could be the greatest game show in the history of game shows ever.
Definitely.
Wow.
It's called The Crystal Maze. Now, for those of you who are in the UK or maybe other parts of Europe, it airs as well. The Crystal Maze is a game show where you go on with your family. So it's a team of 5, and you work your way through these small obstacle courses. Some of them are a little more mental. Some of them are a little more physical. And you nominate one person to go in and do it. You have a time limit to get it done, 2.5 to 3 minutes. And your objective is to get a crystal. Sometimes you get it by walking over a balance beam while they're throwing boulders at you. Sometimes you get it by solving a key puzzle while the room is closing in on you. And each crystal you get gets you 15 seconds in this dome at the end of the show. And in the dome, you're grabbing for pieces of gold paper, and you can win up to $25,000 depending on how much gold paper you get. This show started in the UK and is adults only, as in they only have adults playing the game. It's not, I don't know if it's like I'm sure the humor is more adult oriented in that version. But here in the States, when I first found out about the show, I was like, I was talking to Poopaloop, friend of the site, Poopaloop. He told me about the show. I said, let me look it up. And I just randomly found out that Nickelodeon is doing their own version. And it just started a week ago. So we watched the first episode on demand. Fantastic. It was fantastic.
Italian Kiss.
If you're a fan,
Benny Smoocher.
If you're a fan of Legends at a Hidden Temple or game shows like that, it certainly has that kind of vibe to it, but it's more subdued. It's not like kids screaming.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably better.
Yes,
better than those shows because it doesn't get like awkward.
No, yeah, exactly. There's no awkward interviews or anything like that. There's no kids screaming at everybody in the crowd. There's no like. It's the focus is just on one family. There's no audience watching it. It's an hour long.
It's hosted by Adam Conover.
Yes, from Adam Ruins Everything. I seriously cannot recommend the show enough. There's only been 2 episodes so far, and I haven't watched the newest one because it just aired yesterday. But check it out if you're a fan of game shows, or it's a game show. That's definitely what it is.
Would you say it's amazing?
I would say it's amazing.
Nice.
Yes.
Amazing.
Spam wants to know, have you ever watched Golden Balls? I have seen episodes of Golden Balls. Yes. Another UK game show. I've been getting into, I don't know if I talked about this on a podcast. I've been getting into UK panel shows. I knew about them for a long time, but I've been watching them now while I work, and I'm totally addicted. It's great. Kurt Dog. Oh, first off, hello, Kurt Dog. Second, Kurt Dog, I am sad about that too. He says he's sad that they canceled the new Double Dare.
Oh, did they?
The new Double Dare. While the host wasn't all that great, Liza Koshy, but I liked that Nickelodeon was like, Double Dare got popular for a number of reasons. Let's make sure those are still part of the new show. They didn't try and add in extra stuff. They didn't try and add in all, like, whenever they bring back game shows nowadays, I feel like they do that. But the new Double Dare felt like Double Dare. It was good. It was fun. I just think kids watch TV differently nowadays. Also, I don't know if kids sit down to watch TV.
Yeah, like for a half hour? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean the new Double Dare was fantastic. I really, really, really liked it. I'm sad that it's been canceled, but I really appreciate what they did with it. I'm worried now that from here on out, when they bring back game shows, they're gonna be like, well, we got to do something completely different and just use the same name.
Well, they're not gonna do game shows anymore. They're just gonna turn TikTok into a show or something.
It's gonna be kids doing TikTok dances and unboxing shows.
Yeah.
Just shows where you watch kids open boxes.
Yeah, kids will love it.
Although, to be fair, Let's Make a Deal was a show about opening boxes. Or
different
not,
boxes.
Deal or No Deal, not Let's Make a Deal.
Oh, yeah.
But Let's Make a Deal also has boxes. Yeah. I was thinking, hi, Josh. Thanks for joining us. Speaking of Josh, hello, Josh Robot. How are you this fine podcast day? Okay, then.
Well, never mind. I can't get it. He's quiet. He's feeling really quiet.
Josh, you're
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh, doing the old Nikki Hill. Josh, how are you this fine podcast day?
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
Wow. Hi, Steister. Good to see you. Also, let me say another special hello to Do Michaels. I talked to him last night. As I've been saying, he's listening to every podcast. He's telling me how much he likes the little bits that we do and the show in general, and how mad at Nikki Hill he gets. So everything makes sense.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's not a fan of Josh, right?
He thought Josh was too negative, but Josh seems...
Sure, whatever.
Well, never mind.
Thanks. Very cool.
And we miss you too. We wish you were here on the podcast with us, but at least you can listen to the sweet, sultry tones of our voices, as well as Josh.
Is he in the chat?
No.
Okay.
Yes, they're in the chat. They're talking about the return of Press Your Luck. I was going to say that ABC.
I love Press Your Luck.
Their return of game shows. They do them exactly how I want. They bring back the shows and retain most of what made the show enjoyable.
Press Your Luck is the one with the whammies, right?
Yeah, okay. And they've done a great job with Press Your Luck, and they added in a whole second half to the show that's new, but it's still just playing Press Your Luck. They did a great job with Match Game. And I think What's His Face is a great host. I think he does a really good job on that. I could talk about game shows forever. I should stop because I've been watching a whole bunch of new game shows that I've never seen. All right, let's do.
Oh, speaking of shows getting canceled, I wanted to say I'm sorry that they canceled Watchmen.
You know, they say they canceled it, but the creator said he was only ever doing one season.
Oh, okay.
So his thing was like, I have an idea for what I want to do for my one season, and then I'm done. And he said, if they want to do more with other people, that's fine. But I've created the thing I wanted to. So not so much canceled as ended. I guess it was like a limited series.
Well,
really.
Did the final episode have, finality to it?
I've only seen the first episode. I still need to watch all the
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you would watch the entire season.
No. I loved the first episode, and then stuff got busy. I finally sat down to watch Picard last night. I watched the first episode of Picard, and I am... I liked it. I am intrigued. I have some issues with it, but a lot of shows when they first start out are so different from what they end up being when they really hit their stride. I didn't dislike Picard, but there's some things where I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But overall, I did like it. So, all right, let's do some news.
All right.
Oh, let's do some news, Mom Brain. Thank you, Mom Brain.
My pleasure.
Mom Brain, you're doing a great job on that soundboard there.
Thank you.
Josh, how do you feel about how Mom Brain's doing?
He's powering up.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cute.
Nintendo.
Just have to wait and see.
Oh, do you two got something going on? Thanks, Mom Brain. Nintendo is putting an end to Wii repairs in Japan. We haven't heard anything about outside of Japan, but in Japan, as of, or I think after March 2020, you will no longer be able to get your Wii repaired by Nintendo simply because they can't get the parts easily anymore. They can't get the things that they need to fix the Wii. So if you have a Wii, hopefully it hangs in there. Or you're going to have to go to a third party to fix it for you, and they may ask for a lot of money. But I'm sure you could still get...
I'm sure you could get replacement parts from Fisher Price. Oh,
because it's a toy. I'm sure you can scoop up like a whole bunch of used Wiis now for cheap, maybe from GameStop or something like that if you're worried about yours dying. But again, we don't know what the situation is here in North America and Europe. Nintendo hasn't talked about it at all, so maybe they'll still be able to fix it for a bit longer than that. But if I know my Nintendo, they'll just wait until the last minute to announce it for Europe and North America as well. We'll get it like a month before. Autumnal Blake says, when all hope for a system is lost, a new ray of hope
I'm sorry?
A new ray of hope will always shine upon it in the form of Just Dance. Just Dance. Well, that was it. Ubisoft was like, we're not doing Just Dance for the Wii anymore. And Nintendo's like, all right, well, we're not fixing the Wii. It's dead. That's it.
There's no point.
No point anymore. Here's some really great news. That is something that we don't usually hear. The director of Doom Eternal said, I wish Doom Eternal was in the chat, says that the game will not include microtransactions, and cosmetic stuff is gained in the game through XP, which you don't buy with real money. You actually gain XP by playing the game. Yeah, right. Get this. You get experience by experiencing the game, not by paying for it. This is director Hugo Martin. He says, no store. Nothing you can unlock in Eternal with XP has anything to do with player abilities or content that would impact your game in any way. The only thing you can unlock with XP is cosmetics. These cosmetics have no impact on how you play. They just look cool. Eternal is a $60 game, not a free-to-play game or a mobile game. We're giving you a complete experience with no store, just like you'd expect. Unlocking skins with XP is part of the experience if you care about that stuff, or you can completely ignore it and will have no impact on your experience at all. And it's all free. Man, I like how he says, as you would expect, but that's not what I expect in today's game industry.
Yeah, no.
I expect to pay $60 and I get nickeled and dimed for everything else.
I expect loot boxes.
Yes.
I expect to require an internet connection to play games at all times.
Now that we might need that for Doom, although they haven't said. But yeah, it's funny. It's like, I like how the big news today is like, hey, remember how we used to do games? That's how we're doing it now, which is sad. Mike in Television says, do we have that one?
Is that Luigi?
No, that's Toe Jam and Earl, the
right,
carrot,
sorry.
The carrot man.
I feel like we do that. Toe Jam and Earl are on 2 pages. So.
There it is.
Yeah.
What is it? Carrot, right?
Man.
Yeah. Mike in Television says, I wonder whom they are calling out. One developer who does not have a name, only initials. Well, Mike in Television, we will be talking about them later in this show. Yeah. And I guarantee I am going to be fired up talking about it.
Sounds like something like maybe Ubisoft would do or might have done at some point.
Ubisoft, yes, but that's not who Mike was talking about.
Well, I know, because he gave a pretty big hint.
Sports. It's in the E. Here's a weird way to find out about new characters. There's some Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch accessories that are coming out, and along with the accessories are some decals. And the decals, so it's like a sticker sheet that you basically, or I guess it's like a vinyl sheet that you put actually on your Switch, like the back of your Switch, and a Joy-Con and stuff like that, if you like that kind of thing. And the decals show new Animal Crossing characters. Ooh. So we don't know their names, but I can certainly describe them to you. Mom Brain, you are a big Animal Crossing fan.
Big Animal Crossing fan.
So this is a long list of characters. These are characters confirmed for Animal Crossing New Horizons and ones that will be introduced in the game for the first time. We have Molly, Goldie, Sahara, Unknown Beaver.
Oh, yes!
Unknown Dodo. Unknown Dodo number 2. Male player, female player, female player 2. Bunny, Tom Nook, Timmy and Tommy, Isabel, Fuchsia, Rosie, Stitches, Rocco. Unknown Boar. Boar. You know the boar is going to be a grumpy neighbor.
Oh, for sure.
Without a doubt.
No,
he's going to stamp his foot and like dust is going to fly out of it. Or steam's going to fly out of his face.
No, he's going to be real sensitive. He's going to bake. He's going to be a baker and a cake decorator. He's going to be real sensitive.
Well, all right. I could see it going either way.
And you're not going to be able to get into his house for a long time because he's embarrassed that the whole inside is like pink and frilly.
I think like he's going to... Okay, how about this?
You got to win his board
He's a
trust.
baker, but he's really sweet too. All right, so he has a rough exterior. But if you get to know him, he's very sweet. And he is a baker, like you said, but when he messes up some of his meals, he like...
You don't bake meals.
Cook when he messes up some of his cakes.
There you go.
He runs headfirst into his walls and like, headbutts them.
Did I ever tell you guys that someday when it's Ramid's time to go to the great beyond, I hope that instead he turns into a capybara and he will live in my house?
Hi, Drake Gamer. And yes, I am listing all slang terms for drugs. Molly and all these others are also Molly. Lily, Flip, Colton, Antonio, Celeste, Rod, Hamlet, Wisp, Blathers, one of my favorites, Unknown Reptile.
Can you hook me up with some Unknown Reptile?
Kurt, Jay, Angus, Goose. Here we go. Triple threat. Mom Brain, are you ready?
Yes.
Can I get a drum roll?
It's coming. Oops. Well, it's listed as drum roll to da.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
First one is Unknown Horse. Second is Unknown Bear. Third, Unknown Cat. I had a feeling that was going to be a hit. We also have Tank, Vesta, Fauna, Apollo, Filbert, Sable, Mabel, LaBelle, Bud, Unknown Sheep, Alfonso. How do you say this? Chevre.
Oh, I've seen them before.
Chevre.
Yeah.
Chevrolet.
Octavian, Caesar, Gulliver, Harvey, Rowan, Truffles, Gladys, Aurora, Kit, Melba, Margie, Kix, Peanut, Unknown cub.
Ooh.
Unknown goat. Fang, unknown wolf, and of course, KK Slider. Who's in the chat as the spirit of Nikki Hill?
And it's his face, too.
Somebody must have changed their name to that. That is great. The spirit of Nikki Hill.
Wait, what picture is it?
It's just like him smiling. I don't know what it's from. That
Tasty.
is Autumnal Blake says, it's somewhat concerning how little real news we've gotten, considering how close the game is, especially with the last major trailer being essentially a recut of the E3 reveal. I hope the game isn't too shallow and that there's just a lot they haven't shown us. So I would imagine there's going to be like an Animal Crossing Direct. And there people are already unbelievably hyped for this. So, I feel like Nintendo thinks the game is selling itself at this point, but yeah, they'll open up the floodgates probably this month. It comes out March. So, Mon Brain, can you believe it? In March, you're going to be playing a new Animal Crossing, March 20th, 2020. Animal Crossing New Horizons and
Bless me bagpipes
and Doom Eternal on the same day.
Whoa.
We're gonna skip that one. Pokemon Home is launching in February 2020. Nintendo went over a whole bunch of details about Pokemon Home and how it works and blah, 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 blah. It's a whole bunch of technical stuff, but Home is a place for all your Pokemon and you can bring them from one thing to another. So, we've heard about Home already, but now we know when it's launching. Sean Snakta, oh yes, there's a free version and a paid version. Sean Snakta says, free version is okay, I guess. I'd rather not have to maintain the subscription and Nintendo Switch Online. Why can't the Switch app just do everything? Having stuff only available in the phone app doesn't make sense. Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth here between how you can use things and how you can't use them, and some features that are available on one platform and not others. So I'll tell you. I'll give you the breakdown. When it comes to Pokemon Home, these are the features that are available on Switch. Move Pokemon with Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee. Move Pokemon with Pokemon Sword and Shield. Move Pokemon with Pokemon Bank. And Judge Pokemon, as well as exchange Pokemon Home points for battle points. The features of the mobile version are Move Pokemon with Pokemon Bank, Judge Pokemon, Trade Pokemon, Receive Mystery Gifts, Check Battle Data, and Check News. So as you can see, there are some differences between the two. Yes, and if it seems like most people will be able to get away with using the free version, but I'm sure there are, and rightfully so, people miffed about having to pay for this service. And on top of that,
the heck?
people are like, boy, Pokemon Company is really nickel and diming us here for a whole bunch of stuff, not like they used to. And I 100% agree. I feel like they're like, here's some paid DLC. Here's stuff you got to pay for Home. It's a lot. It's a lot, and it didn't used to be like that, but now it is. So that's a little sad. Spirit of Nikki Hill says, is there a free version of it called Pokemon Homeless? I mean, the free version you're using right now, but yes, there is a free version. Can I get a drum roll, please? Nintendo mobile games have hit 1 billion in lifetime revenue. It's time for everybody's favorite game show. Mom Brain gets asked a question. Mom Brain, we need that. We need that. God damn it! Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music?
Yeah, you do that to me when we play this game in real life, and I hate it.
Mom Brain, today's question.
Okay.
Nintendo's mobile games have made $1 billion in lifetime revenue. Nintendo mobile games are Dr. Mario World, Fire Emblem Heroes, Super Mario Run, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, Mario Kart Tour, and Dragalia Lost. Out of those 6 titles, which one has made the most revenue?
I think Animal Crossing.
Final answer?
Yes.
Can you hit me with that Price is Right fail horn, please? The correct answer is Fire Emblem Heroes by a lot.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that in my top 10.
Fire Emblem Heroes accounts for $656 million of that revenue, or if you'd rather, 61%. So Fire Emblem Heroes is making bank. Also tonight, as in the night we're recording, February, 1st? There is a Fire Emblem Heroes Faye channel presentation at 10 p.m. where they will go over what's coming up for Fire Emblem Heroes. And we are coming up on the 3rd anniversary of the game. So it seems like they're going to have some special stuff to talk about. Dre Gamer says Fire Emblem gotcha. Yes, it certainly has some gotcha elements, but apparently that's what people like on mobile or are used to or have no issues with, because whenever Nintendo tries other forms of monetization on mobile, like pay one fee once and get everything, people aren't really down for that. They'd rather just have the option to pay when they want, and they end up paying a lot. So whatever, it doesn't make any sense to me. Moving on. 6 games across the entire world combined have been downloaded 452 million times. As far as revenue, Animal Crossing accounts for 12%, Dragalia Lost counts for 11%, Mario Kart Tour for 8%, Super Mario Run at 7%, and poor old Dr. Mario World accounts for just less than 1% of that revenue. The bulk of revenue comes from Japan overall, which is 581 million. Second place is the US with 316 million. Super Mario Run has 244 million downloads, Hachi Machi, and Mario Kart Tour has 147 million downloads. In the chat, can anybody tell me what Hachi Machi comes from? I realize I say that, and I don't ever talk about where it comes from. First comment comes from Akmiguins, and he says, to think that 10 years ago, Fire Emblem was on life support. Yes, my friend, that is a very good point. I think about that often, how Nintendo was pretty much like, yes, other people answered first. Kyle Lanquin, yes, the critic. Spam, yes, the critic. Kurt Dog, the critic. Yes, I am so happy that multiple people got that. That's amazing. There are still critic fans out there. God damn it. And John Lovitz was just on Saturday Night Live. He needs money, damn it. Bring back the critic. Man, I like that show. Masahiro Sakurai, the creator of Smash Brothers, talked about the prototype that led to Smash Brothers. But honestly, I find the second part more interesting. He talks about back in the days of the N64, he was working on 2 prototypes, the Smash Brothers prototype or whatever turned into Smash Brothers. And in this robot game, Josh, it's a game about robots. Boy, Josh is awfully slow today.
Maybe he's jealous of...
I wasn't listening.
Josh, there's a game about robots that was worked on for some time and then canceled. And we're going to talk about it now.
Thanks. Very cool.
So this prototype was an adventure game with a robot as the main character. And it was worked on by Sakurai and the late, great Satoru Iwata. And the robot prototype would let you control the robot like an RC car, and you take the robot around a mysterious underground city, and you could only access this city by taking out the robot's drill. You would have to drill down into the earth at certain points to gain access to this underground city to explore it, and you would also hack into cameras to get a better look at what the city had to offer. Unfortunately, this prototype never saw a release or was never turned into a full game. Hello, Joe. Hello, the Aloe Wolf. Because apparently it would have taken over 2 years to create, which was just too long. So Sakurai decided to focus on the first prototype, which was a fighting game, which turned into Smash Brothers, or Smash Brothers in general, not Ultimate, Smash Brothers on the N64, which is pretty crazy. I guess the idea to focus on the fighting game and make that one, or get that one ready for release was a good idea, because Smash Brothers is kind of a big deal right now. Autumnal Blake says, and a robot sits at the GoNintendo podcast table to this day. It's true. Josh is that robot. He went unused for over, 96, 2006, over 20 years.
No, not at all.
Oh, it's not true. I'm sorry. Well, Josh, where were you all this other time?
I don't want to be here.
Josh. We like having you here, Josh.
Sure, whatever.
Do Michaels is not going to be happy.
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
Very quickly, Smash Bros. Ultimate has been updated to version 7.0.0, and that includes Byleth from Fire Emblem. Kurt Dog says, soundboard suggestion, Fozzie and Kermit from the Muppet movie singing Moving Right Along when Armsy says moving right along. Moving right along. I'm a big fan of the Muppets. I love the Muppets.
Sure we are.
I feel like if you don't like the Muppets,
You're
probably a dick.
a serial
Hitler.
killer.
I think you're
Hitler.
I you know what? Even if you're not like sitting down to watch the Muppets, that's fine. But like just appreciating the general idea of the Muppets, I feel like that's something everybody can get around. Kurt Dog says, "Don't trust anyone who hates the Muppets." I don't think I would. What is there to hate about the Muppets? They're cute little animals. They're funny. They
go like this.
Yay! They do humor for children that also is for adults. That show that they had for a season, I really liked.
Oh, the one on ABC that
like
everyone else hated.
Workplace dramedy. I don't know why people hated it.
I guess it was maybe because Kermit and Miss Piggy broke up or whatever.
They did break up, but
it took you out of your comfort zone.
In fairness to Kermit, the new girl was way hotter. I think the problem is people just were like a sitcom. Yeah, sure. A sitcom where I'm going to watch puppets. I don't think so, because
that is not correct.
If you look back at the history of puppet sitcoms that were made for adults, they don't have much success. There was Greg the Bunny.
What about Alf?
It's not a puppet. That's an alien.
It's an alien life form. It's in the title.
All right, so I take it back.
What the heck?
Alien. Alf was the one that had success in it, and everything after that has tried to recapture it.
I remember enjoying Greg the Bunny.
I didn't think Greg the Bunny was the best, but I did have fun watching it. There were episodes where it shined. Well, you know what? There was another one that had a puppet that was successful. It was Unhappily Ever After.
Oh God, yeah.
Right? The guy had the
Bobcat
Goldthwait in the basement. The Bobcat did the voice, yeah.
It was like a stuffed bunny.
It was.
I always thought it was
Married
like
with Children. I think it was made by mostly the same people.
I think, yeah.
I think Fox canceled Married with Children, and they were like, "Well, let's do the same show, but Al's got a puppet."
No, it wasn't on Fox though.
It was on something. Well, that's what I'm saying. Fox canceled Married with Children, and the people involved with the show were like, "Well, let's do the same show, but for somebody else."
Yeah, it was like a WB show, I think.
They were like, they pitched the show, and I'm sure WB was like, "Isn't that Married with Children?" They're like, "No, this has a puppet." And they're like, "All right, let's do it."
And the guys divorced until like they got remarried or something.
I don't remember.
And it was like, well, now you lost your premise.
Steel Diver says Conan's dog puppet show. Is he talking about Triumph? Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He had a show on Cartoon Net or Adult Swim. Was it officially canceled? I watched that show. Boy, what a interesting show that was, because my understanding and from what I read from the interviews was everybody on the show had written dialogue minus Triumph. Triumph would just play off of the stuff. Yeah. And the actors would just have to go with it, which I think is so interesting, but obviously could make for a really funny or not funny episode.
Do you remember that? Who's the guy that does Triumph? Robert Smigel or something. Do you remember that other show he did? It was called like Cartoon Funhouse or something.
TV Funhouse?
No, that was like his.
Maybe it was TV Funhouse. I don't remember.
TV Funhouse was like his like little bits on Saturday Night Live, I thought.
Oh yeah, like the
Ambiguously Gay Duo and something else. There's another one.
Okay.
TV Funhouse. Highly and Tom.
But didn't that also have like puppets in it?
I think there were some skits with puppets. Yes. Joe says that show called Dinosaurs was puppets. Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, okay. I take it back. A, there's more puppet related shows than I realized at first, and B, I guess some of them were also successful. So, what the hell we start talking about to get here?
Baby, lock the door and turn the lights
down.
down.
The Muppets. I thought the Muppet Show was good. So then I guess I don't know why it was canceled, because it was good and it was funny. And yeah, I guess you nailed it. People didn't like seeing Piggy.
Maybe they thought it was too.
I was gonna say Piggy and Miss Kermit.
Maybe they thought it was too gritty.
Kermit and Miss Piggy. Yeah, it was like, as far as Muppet stuff goes, it was the most adult of anything they have done, as far as I know. We'll talk about.
We'll talk about
Muppets on our Muppet
podcast.
Yeah. Mari Car, which isn't called Mari Car anymore, but that's how everybody knows it. Mari Mobility Development is what it was renamed to. Mari Car was a service in Japan where basically you could do Mario Kart in real life. You'd rent go-karts and wear Mario Kart costumes like Luigi and Yoshi and Mario and Princess Peach, and you drive around the streets of Japan. Nintendo wasn't happy about this because they were like, you're making money off of our brand and we're not officially tied up with you guys.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
They were like, you know what? We don't care. We're going to do it anyway. And there was a legal battle, and I believe they lost the first legal battle, or Nintendo lost the first legal battle, but went right back into court over it. And then Mari Car lost the next one, and they were like, we don't care, we're going to do it anyway. So that got them in more trouble. Blah, 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 blah.
That's not possible.
We finally have the end of this battle, legal battle. And it ends with Mari Car being ordered to pay Nintendo roughly $450,000 for IP infringement. Kurt Dog, what is that? It's Ellen looking at, what is that? That's horrifying. Is it supposed to be an Ellen puppet? Holy crap. Anyway, they got to pay him $450,000 for IP infringement. So I would say that's pretty much a done deal for Mari Car. I bet they're wishing now that I bet they're thinking now that that they didn't do this. Joe, I thought the same thing. Kurt Dog showed a picture of Ellen standing next to some horrifying robot Ellen.
It's like an Ellen husk.
And Kurt Dog says it's a rundown animatronic from the ride she was in at Disney World. There you go. And Joe says it looks like a Doc Brown sex doll, which it really does. It's exactly what it looks like. Oh man, I'm so happy that we're live with you guys. You make me laugh. Knockside says, not a smart move from Mari Car. Nintendo spent decades building up the brand. They had no right to use it without consent, possibly diminishing the Mario name if their service was poor or had gotten into some deadly accident. Yeah, I know. I don't understand. I don't understand how the Mari Car people couldn't have seen it from that viewpoint. If people got hurt, there would have been plenty of people who were like, I can't believe Nintendo let this happen. And obviously Nintendo didn't. But now hopefully the legal battle has put an end to it and Nintendo won't have to worry about it anymore. All right. We also have Nintendo's financial information because they did their fiscal year's, the Q3 earnings release. And we will get into those in a minute. But first, Mom Brain, I believe you have a couple greenlit spots to play us out, to play us into the next segment. So if you will, please.
Hey, folks, it's Asif Khan, CEO, Editor-in-Chief, over there at ShackNews.com. Give a listen to the Shackcast, the official Shack News podcast of Shack News, over there on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
They say with age comes wisdom. Well, over here at the Cartridge family, we only have one question. Who are they? Join three imperfect dads as they juggle kids, wives, and jobs while indulging in their favorite hobby, playing video games.
The Cartridge Family, a Greenlit Network podcast.
Hey, Mom Brain, did you recognize that voice there?
I feel like I did. I feel like that sounded like our friend Chris.
It was, yes. That's Chris Buffa.
Who, if you have not had the pleasure of knowing him, is one of the finest gentlemen we've ever known. He's a good man, a fine man.
Yeah, I've known Chris Buffa for a very long time.
He was just here like a week ago.
Yeah.
He was here for the Royal Rumble, yeah.
And if you didn't know, he either is a good liar about it or truly does deeply love the popcorn that I make.
Oh, why would you lie about liking someone's
because
popcorn?
He wants me to feel nice. He wants to be friendly.
Yeah, I mean, it's good popcorn.
Thanks.
I can't imagine someone not liking it.
Yeah, I don't know why he would go out of his way to say that he liked it and then like screw himself over, because every time he visits here after that, he would have to eat your popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this popcorn. Anyway, yes, check out those podcasts. And you could hear Chris Buffa, one of our friends, and John Benjamin, one of our other friends. But anyway, Nintendo has their earnings results to share, and surprise, surprise, Nintendo's doing really well. I'm not going to go over the full details, but I will tell you the main sticking points. The Switch is now sitting at 52.48 million units sold, and 100 and what is this? They did 140 million units of software sold in this past quarter. Obviously, the holiday season helped out with it quite a bit. Digital stuff is doing really well. If you want the very specific breakdown of how every little thing did, you can read that. But I'm sure what you really want to hear is the total sales for games. So let's talk about that. These are total sales for Switch titles. Super Mario Maker 2 is at 5 million. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is at 4.19 million. And I believe that makes it the best-selling 2D Zelda game of all time. I could be wrong on that, because there's digital re-releases of titles and other entries in the Zelda franchise. But when it comes to 2D Zeldas, just
Link are the hero.
In and of themselves, I believe Link's Awakening is now the best-selling 2D Zelda, which is crazy. It goes to show, A, how well the Switch is doing, B, how big Zelda is right now because of Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild really expanded the reach of Zelda. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is at an incredible 22.96 million, so basically 23 million. Breath of the Wild is at 16.3 million. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is at 5.8 million. Astral Chain, Kirby, Astral Chain was made by Platinum Games and Nintendo. We always talk about how Platinum Games don't really sell all that well. Astral Chain, just in one quarter, so the quarter that it launched, has managed to sell 1.03 million units. It's a million seller for Platinum.
Yay! They did it.
Good job. Well deserved. That is really cool to see, because like we've said on this podcast many times, I feel like, hello, Mars Barrow, thanks for joining us. I never feel like Platinum's games get the sales they deserve. I certainly feel they get the critical response that they deserve, but they just don't seem to resonate with audiences. But Astral Chain, I guess it did. It's already over 1 million sold. And even more important, it's a brand new IP. That makes it so much more impressive. Ring Fit Adventure, another brand new IP, is at 2.17 million sold. That is excellent. And it's one of those long tail sellers. And even more importantly, it's one of those games that came out and has been ramping up since it came out. I believe just this past week, it was #1 in Japan. The game's been out for a while, but now it's at #1. And Nintendo directly addressed the fact that there are shortages for the game around the world. So obviously, sales are picking up to a point where Nintendo wasn't expecting them to actually hit. So the game is doing really, really well. That's awesome to see. And both bad and good, I guess. They said it has a very big female audience. So I don't know if just extra gaming resonates with females more, or females feel more pressure to do things like exercising and all that. I don't know what it is, but there's certain games where female audiences are usually bigger. Animal Crossing is one of them, and now we see with Ring Fit Adventure, the female audience is there. Super Mario Party is at 9.12 million, and Pokemon Sword and Shield is at 16.06 million, which is crazy. Pokemon Sword and Shield launched in November, late November, and by January, they're at 16 million.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I live here. I grew up here. Or I should have done the other one. Thank you, Mr. Fung, for saying what needed to be said. Smash Bros. Ultimate is at 17.6 million. Luigi's Mansion 3, killing it. The fastest selling and I believe best selling Luigi's Mansion game to date.
Can we get a bingo, Mom Brain?
Was it Luigi Bingo?
Yes.
Bingo.
Thank you.
It's sold 5.3 million units so far. Here's another million. You okay over there?
What?
You're right over.
I'm just rolling the bag up. Why you gotta draw attention to me?
I think the noise of the bag is doing that.
Well, I was trying to do it away from the microphone.
Hello, Santiago. Thanks for joining us. Santiago says that Pokemon boycott did work wonders. Yeah, it's almost like the internet says, I hate everything. I'm not gonna buy that game. Then they get off the internet and they're like, oh, Pokemon, I love you, and they rub Sword and Shield all over their naked body. Quote me on that. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which also launched just in that quarter, is also a million seller. It's at 1.02 million units sold. Yes, right there, poster on the wall. Great game, a lot of fun to play multiplayer, and it seems like that Marvel brand is pretty hot right now. Splatoon 2 is at 9.8 million. Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which launched in this quarter, is at 2.5 million. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is at 11 million, and Super Mario Odyssey. You gotta do it.
Hey, that's sweaty.
Dude, Michaels and I had like a 50-minute conversation about you saying that yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, and he hasn't heard the actual clip. I was like, I'll talk to Kirby because I know you at least knew a spot where you could go to make Cappy say that, unless you got the thing that was there and you can't make him say it anymore. Hi, Doom Eternal. You're here. I was talking about you earlier. Hey, I sweaty. We have to.
Sweaty.
I have to get that. Has to be on the soundboard. That direct clip. I'm gonna sit through that goddamn like 10-minute video on YouTube of everything Cappy says and find that one.
There's
clip.
got to be like an easier way to find it, though.
Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey. Hey, I sweaty. Yeah, Super Mario Odyssey is at 16.5 million units sold. Anything in here that I didn't mention? Nope. We did all that. 3DS has pretty much stayed the same. There's only very, very, very minor bumps in software sales of life to date, so nothing really worth pointing out in there. What do we got here? The total number of million seller titles on the Switch in this fiscal year is 21, and Nintendo says steady growth in sales of downloadable versions of packaged software and download-only titles. Mobile-related games saw a 10% increase year over year. Blah, 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 blue. Everything's going good. If you're looking for release date stuff, there wasn't really anything worth note to point out in there. Like if you're looking for specific dates on things, they weren't in there. Like no changes from what we've seen last time, basically. So really, Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 are all still TBA. So no official dates for those. They're not even saying they're 2020. Some of them may end up being 2020, but as of right now, they're just TBA. First comment comes from Autumnal Blake, and he says, my cynicism tells me that they probably underestimated on purpose so they could raise projections, but either way, 52 million is undeniably impressive. That Switch is probably my favorite Nintendo system so far, so I'm very happy to see it doing well. Nintendo had estimates for the fiscal year of the Switch selling 18 million, and now with 1 quarter left in the year, they have raised their estimates to 19.5 million, and they should certainly make that. This is really interesting. This is one of the most interesting things I've heard about video games, at least on the sales side of things, in a long time. So, video games come out, and then a year goes by, and they might still sell, but they don't sell what they used to sell. And then another year goes by, and sales are lower, blah, blah, blah. Very rarely do you see it any different. Here's the crazy thing. Analyst David Gibson, who goes by Gibbo Game on Twitter, if you'd like to follow him, he does all kinds of video game data and breaks down sales and all that. He had something really interesting to talk about as far as Switch software sales in quarter 3 2020, which is what we're in right now, versus quarter 3 2019. Sales for long-tail sellers on Switch in quarter 3 2020 sold more than they did in quarter 3 2019. So the games are now a year older, but somehow in this quarter they managed to sell more than the previous year when they were newer.
That's not possible.
It is. Super Mario Odyssey sold 2.2 million units in this quarter compared to 1.6 million in the same quarter last year. Breath of the Wild sold 1.8 million units this quarter compared to 1.4 million in the same quarter last year. Finally, Splatoon 2 sold 1.1 million units in quarter 3 2020 compared to 800,000 in the same quarter of 2019. That is mind-boggling to me. And again, just goes to show how well the Switch is doing. These games are selling better. And sometimes people are like, why doesn't Nintendo drop the price of their first-party games? Well, because 3 years after they came out, 2 years after they came out, they're selling more than they ever have. So that's why Nintendo doesn't drop their prices, because people are buying these games at full price, and the sales just keep going up. I sound like that was my regular internet person sounds like droopy.
Yeah.
Oh, bother. Autumnal Blake again says the system sure is rolling along nicely. Nintendo did say they plan for the Switch to be around for longer than other systems, and it definitely seems like that is viable. I really think the launch of the new systems like the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 are going to help out the Switch in some ways, because there's going to be people who are like, oh, here's the new PlayStation or here's the new Xbox. I would really like to have one of those. There's not too many games for it right now. Plus, you're going to have to spend like $500 to $600 to get them. So you look at the Switch and you're like, man, there's thousands upon thousands of games, and it's $300, or for a Switch Lite, $200. I think that's going to help it, at least in the beginning. Mom Brain, we got a request for the old No One Cares About Me. What is that under? Larry King Sonic, or Sonic Larry King?
Might be under Sonic.
Oh.
Sonic is S.
Well, I was looking under L for Larry.
I don't think I would do Larry King. I would do Sonic. No One Cares About Me.
No one cares about me.
Also want to do Michael's favorites. Steel Diver says RMC PS5 is going to bankrupt Nintendo. Yes, of course. Nintendo's always doomed. I'm sorry. I should have said that. We've known from the beginning of Nintendo's time to now, Nintendo's always doomed. No, I didn't add the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme. This week was so busy, it didn't even come into my head. I need to make a note for myself. Mom Brain, can I have a drum roll, please? Switch sales have now surpassed those of the Super Nintendo. Thank you. Yes, there are more Switch units sold now than there were of the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo sold 49.1 million units in its entire lifespan. The Switch is at 52.48 million units. And the Super Nintendo is quite the prolific system, not just for Nintendo, but in general. And you think about the Super Nintendo and you're like, everybody had a Super Nintendo. Well, now the Switch, in less than 3 years, we're coming up on 3 years, but in less than 3 years has outsold every single unit of the Super Nintendo out there.
Is that a burglar?
It's the guy in his van next door. Autumnal Blake says, awesome. Next is the NES, which is 9 million away. Shouldn't be too long, especially with Animal Crossing around the corner. Animal Crossing is going to give one hell of a sizable boost to Switch sales, especially with that fancy new bundle. You saw that, right? I showed that to you?
Yes.
A Switch bundle with a special Animal Crossing theme. So the dock is themed and the Switch Joy-Cons are themed, and the Switch back has some design on it too. It's really nice looking. 6 Switch titles have surpassed 10 million units sold. That's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And again, that is really crazy when you look at games like Pokemon Sword and Shield, which have only been out for a handful of months, and they're already at 16 million. Moving on, more sales data. Switch is... This comes from Daniel Ahmad. He's a senior analyst at Nico Partners. He looked at the data for the Switch, and here's what he came up with. Switch is currently doing better than the PS4 and the PS2 when you launch align them. So looking at those systems in the same point in their lifespan. So, years ago for those platforms, obviously, but launch aligning those years together. Switch is doing better than PS4 and PS2 are at those points in their lifespan. Switch is also right in line right now with how the DS was doing. The DS was sold over 100 million units. And as of right now, the Switch is just slightly behind what the Wii is doing, which is excellent because the Wii is another over 100 million selling platform. And the big difference you have to look at here is all of these systems were holiday launches, so their data is going to be a little bit different compared to Switch because Switch launched in March, which makes it all that more impressive. Drew says the PS2, PS4 both sold better because they were also sold as cheap alternatives to DVD and Blu-ray players. I don't know how much that's true. Hello, Az. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Laxter. It doesn't matter that you're late. It's just good to have you. Yes, Doom Eternal says doomed eternally. I don't know how true that is with the PS4. I guess it's somewhat true, but I remember that being a big deal with the PS2. People were like, it plays DVDs. I got to get a PS2 and then I can play games on it too. That was like a huge deal at the time.
I was like I remember getting a PS2 and being like really excited. It was like, it plays video games and DVDs, and it was like, it wasn't a very good DVD player.
It wasn't, but I didn't have a DVD player at the time either. I was like, oh my God, I remember watch those newfangled DVDs.
Yeah, I think I remember watching like the first Lord of the Rings movie on it or something.
I don't remember what I probably some weeaboo crap.
Probably
Ghost in the Shell or something like that.
Yeah, you're probably jerking it to Major Kusanagi or something.
No, thank you. I like Bato. Those eyes, his beautiful eyes. Those robot can eyes. Oh man, have you seen the trailer for that new Ghost in the Shell? It's going to be on Netflix. It's like a series, but it's all computer generated.
Oh no.
I'm going to watch the show because maybe the show will be good, but as far as visuals go, it looks bad. It looks like a maybe I won't say PS1. Maybe I'll say no, I'm going to say PS1, a late generation PS1 cutscene. That's what it looks like to me.
Remember when they did that with the original movie?
Yeah.
What a great idea.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as that.
You made it sound like it was that bad.
It looks bad. I go look it up on YouTube. It looks
Wasn't
bad.
there on Netflix? I guess it was like a limited series of Ghost in the Shell. There were only like 3 episodes, but they were like,
was there?
Yeah, they were like pretty long. They were like each at least an hour long.
Oh man, I don't even know anything about them. I guess maybe I do, and I'm just forgetting.
Oh, just search Ghost in the Shell. They should turn up.
Like there was the 2 movies, right? Then there was Standalone Complex that was on Adult Swim,
right?
And then I think there was something else. I'm a huge fan of Ghost in the Shell. I just love that universe, and I love the characters.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of this.
Yeah, like I was saying, maybe I haven't. I just blocked it out. While Kirby's looking that up. Also, estimates show that the Switch has sold more than the Xbox One. That would mean the Switch has managed to outdo. That would mean that the Switch in 34 months outdid what the Xbox One did in 74 months. Obviously, we don't have the exact figures on that, at least from Microsoft's side, so we can't say for sure, but it is something to consider.
I guess the full title is Arise, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, maybe I do know it.
One's called Ghost Pain.
Can I see it?
One's called Ghost Whispers, and the other is
Ghost Pepper.
Ghost Tears?
Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai. Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember that from that middle image up top, but I've never watched it.
Oh, okay. I've watched them all.
Are they good?
I liked them.
I got to watch that. I'm saying I'm a Ghost in the Shell fan. I haven't even seen stuff. Autumnal Blake says this is likely due to more worldwide appeal of the Switch, especially Japan. Yeah, Japan doesn't give a crap about the Xbox One at all. No, but despite how many times Microsoft has tried to make the Xbox work in Japan, just hasn't happened. Lanquin, why are you saying that? Oh, because did you say it was called Arise?
Yeah.
All right. What is Lanquin saying in the chat?
Is he saying, arise, chicken, arise?
Yes, that's exactly what he's saying. I don't remember what I was reading on Reddit in the comments, but somebody in the comments made that joke, and the next person was like, huh? What are you talking about? I was like, I know what he means. Arise, chicken.
That's from Aqua Teens.
All right, North America, this week's downloads. What do we get in North America? Coming up February 4th is The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics. Also available is Skellboy, where he plays a skeleton who can wear body parts of your fallen enemies.
Skellboy.
Get out of there, Skellboy. Also available, 7th Sector on February 5th. Arc of Alchemist, Arcade Archives Tecmo Bowl. Hut. Ascendant Hearts, Ash of God's Redemption. Aviary Attorney Definitive Edition. That's like Ace Attorney, but you play as birds, and that is true. I'm not lying.
Like Harvey Birdman?
No, like pigeons and stuff. Battleground, Book Brigade, Bridge Constructor Ultimate Edition, Eclipse, Edge of Light, Hypercharge Unboxed, which I can't recommend enough. It's such a fun idea. Little toy soldiers shooting other toys. It's really cool. Indie Gems Bundle, the JRPG Edition, Milo's Quest, Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game 3. Not Tonight, Take Back Control Edition. Orbit Blazers. Far Lap, that's PHAR. Please the Gods, comes out February 3rd. Prison Princess, which is it's like a point and click puzzle thing, but but features 2 lewd princesses.
Oh.
Yes. Malakalo, I said hi to you, didn't I? Recnum.
What?
Recnum. Spell it. Mom brain.
I got a problem with my rectum.
Hold on. Mom brain.
Yeah.
Your word is recnum.
May you please repeat the word?
Recnum.
W.
You're not going to ask me to use it in a sentence.
Okay. Could you use it in a sentence, please?
I went to Pizza Hut and had severe diarrhea afterwards, which really destroyed my recnum. Recnum.
Recnum. WRECKNUMB. Recnum.
No, I might do this wrong. In spelling bees, don't they do a ding when you're wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they go ding. Or they tell you if you're correct.
Iridocyclitis.
The correct spelling of recnum
Heron
is REKNUM.
Oh. Huh. I liked my way better.
My recnum. Something's wrong with my recnum, Doc. I'm glad you think that's as funny as I do.
I have no problem with my rectum.
Going to the doctor, get my rectum checked out. Sisters Royale, 5 Sisters Under Fire, Sparkle 4 Tales, Speaking Simulator, which you can watch me play, Super Battle Cards, Touchdown Pinball, Eurus DX, Wide Ocean Big Jacket. That is a great name. Wide Ocean Big Jacket. It comes out February 4th. And Willie Jetman, Astro Monkey's Revenge, or in tradition of the podcast, Willie Jetman. That's your North American releases. Let's see.
I have spoken.
What you guys said. I'm glad you're using that one because we don't really get that a lot.
I love that one.
Autona Blake says, remember when I said I'd play Astral Chain this last week? Well, that sure didn't happen. Maybe this time. That's how it goes, my friend. The grandest plans. Europe, what did I get? Motorcycle Mechanic Simulator, Actual Sunlight. It came from Space and 8-Hour Brains. Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition. Throne Breaker, The Witcher Tales. Have you played that, Kirby?
Nope.
I hear it's quite good, and it's a card battler. Card battler, John.
Yeah, that's why I haven't played it. It's because it's a card battler.
Horse Farm. Let yourself be enchanted by Horse Farm. A delightful horse game for equestrian enthusiasts everywhere. Build your own horse ranch. Keep beautiful horses. Pamper your hooved pals and give your guests a vacation they won't forget. Horse ranch. That's my favorite flavor. Coffee Talk. Music Racer. Bookbound Brigade. Speaking Simulator. Code Shifter. Sisters Royale. 5 Sisters Under Fire. Expense reports are due by 3. Eclipse. Also. Edge of Light. Never Again. Ascendant Hearts, Eurus DX, Aviary Attorney Definitive Edition, Prison Princess, Skellboy, Arcade Archives Tecmo Bowl, Indie Gems Bundle JRPG Edition, Milo's Quest, Super Battle Cards, Recnum, Touchdown Pinball, Not Tonight, Take Back Control Edition. Ash of God's Redemption. Hero Land. Bridge Constructor Ultimate Edition. Willie Jetman, Astro Monkey's Revenge. Hypercharge Unboxed. And then DLC and your other jazz. Oh, you know what I don't do anymore? There's no more. I was going to say check
for Jeff
for 3DS themes, but they don't do those anymore. Steve Nintendo says, speaking simulator, one man's journey through the European downloadable uploads. Join Nicholas Hill as he attempts to master the English language.
What the heck?
Oh, I wish he were here to hear that. You know what? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna screenshot that right now.
And then he would say, "No one cares about me."
I'm doing it on the show. I'm screenshotting it. I'm sending it to Nicky Hill so he knows he is missed. There it goes.
Well, he is here in spirit, literally.
I will. That's right. I will let you know what his comment is if he has one. Moving on. Good Lord, there's a lot of news. We got a whole other page? No, we don't. Do we?
Do
we have a whole other page?
I mean, you're in
Oh
charge.
my God.
So, like, look, I just bought a new pair of running shoes that I'd like to take out for a spin. So, I mean.
Oh boy. All right. Well, hold on. I'm all screwed up here. I want to see if we have a whole nother page.
We got a whole
top stories.
Rectum.
My rectum hole.
Rectum. Damn near killed them.
Yeah, we do. All right. I'm just going to pick through this quickly rather than go through all of it. There's I got a Nicky Hill. He says, I am touched and honored. There you go, Steve Nintendo. The Outer Worlds is coming to Switch on March 6th, 2020, which is great. They said it was going to be out in the first quarter. It looks like they were telling the truth about that. We're looking. Did you do a My Sharuba?
She
I
did.
was gonna.
My Sharuba.
There we go. It's coming out March 6th, 2020. There's only one little hiccup there. There's a retail release, but it doesn't include a game card. So it's a retail box with a digital code in it. I know that makes some people upset, and I can understand why that makes people upset, but I'm just happy the game's coming to Switch. I've been waiting to play The Outer Worlds on Switch, so that's the version I'm going with. Very excited to see how that port turned out. The Destructo94 is a top comment that says, still don't understand why third parties bother releasing empty Switch boxes to retail. If you're not putting the game on the game card, just release it as an eShop exclusive. Probably because they want to get out in front of people's faces. They want the box to be there. They want people to walk through Walmart or GameStop or Best Buy or whatever and see the box on the shelves.
Like, hey, look at that box.
Because I would imagine your average consumer is more likely to go out at retail and see games there than to just endlessly sift through the eShop. But that's just my guess. We had a really fun story about a mom who was going to see their child play in a Pokemon tournament and actually asked, or the mom asked, can I come watch you play at the tournament? And the kid was like, yeah, of course, Mom. Why don't you actually play? And the mom was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So the mom learned how to play. The mom went into the tournament, and the mom placed in the top 8 in the tournament.
Really?
And she got a congratulations from Pokemon Company, who say, congratulations, trainer Pam. Her name is Pam.
Aww.
Hope to see you at the Worlds one day. Worlds is Pokemon World Championships. So that's just really cool. They got pictures of the lady. They got pictures of the tournament. I thought that was a really fun story. Akmi Guin says that is the face of someone who thrives on their opponent's tears. But congratulations on learning it so fast and so well. Yeah, she could be a serious contender. We talked about the
I'm a Pokemon trainer.
Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch bundle. There's also an Animal Crossing New Horizons carrying case and screen protector. The Switch bundle, as we said, has a special dock with Tom Nook and Timmy and Tommy Nook on it. It has a special, like, what's the word? Pastel blue and green Joy-Cons, and the Switch itself has some special design. It's $300. And then the carrying case has little, Animal Crossing leaves on them. And this all comes out March 13th. No, I lied. March 13th. Comes out March 13th. The game doesn't come out till March 20th. And the carrying case is priced at $60. Mr. Life says, that's a really neat design, but nothing will ever top the Pop-Tart 3DS. Well, I mean, Pop-Tarts is the Pop-Tarts are the perfect food, so I don't see how anything could ever tackle it.
I mean, I was a little offended when the girl on Bon Appetit was like, these are disgusting. Like maybe it wasn't what's her name? Claire. Maybe it was somebody else there, but they were like, oh, these are so disgusting. And it was like, who eats like a classic Pop-Tart? Maybe like Orange Crush or Root Beer Pop-Tarts. Maybe I could see you finding them to be a bit weird. But like a classic like strawberry, cherry, blueberry frosted Pop-Tart is not disgusting under any circumstances. And I will die on that hill.
All right. I don't think I care for the fruit flavored ones.
I like cherry.
So which
I like
ones
strawberry.
do you like? Like a cinnamon or?
No, I like s'mores.
S'mores.
Oh, all right.
That's about it.
Autumnal Blake says in Australia they only have chocolate Pop-Tarts.
What?
And they're hard to find.
Wait. Are you saying that in Australia there's no like Vegemite Pop-Tarts?
He says we only have the chocolate Pop-Tarts here.
Ask him if they have Vegemite Pop-Tarts.
Lanquin says maybe the girl from Bon Appetit is in the camp toaster or in the toaster strudel camp.
No one. No one.
I used to eat toaster strudels.
Is in the toaster strudel camp.
Kurt Dog says Wildberry Pop-Tarts are the best. I don't know that I've ever had Wildberry.
Frosted cherry Pop-Tarts are so good.
I'm sure I've said this before, but I used to eat Pillsbury toaster strudels like before I would have to go to school, and they would never cook properly, like ever. Like
I don't like the flavor at all of them.
The filling would either be like ice cold or they would be completely burnt.
Goodbye, Go Nikki.
So
Hill.
I would just like eat the icing instead.
Nikki, the real Nikki Hill is in chat, but he has to go back to work. So,
and by work he means the toilet.
They're doing some hard work today. No Vegemite Pop-Tarts, but they have Cadbury chocolate blocks with some Vegemite in each square.
That sounds awful.
All right, moving on.
Vegemite is awful.
Luigi's Mansion 3 developers explain why they're doing multiplayer DLC and not single player. This is creative director Bryce Holiday saying most people buying or even thinking about Luigi's Mansion just want the single player story experience.
Bingo.
Schedules dictated story mode had to be built first. However, at Next Level Games, we love making multiplayer games, so this DLC is full of those experiences we wanted to share. So they don't have single player DLC because the mandate from the beginning was create a single player game. So they put everything in there, and then they were like, let's do some bonus multiplayer DLC. Oh my God. Philo has a long comment, but I will read it. Philo says, makes sense. I believe if the game had the mission structure of the second, it'll have been more manageable. But the game has times you're forced to return to certain floors, and tacking on an extra one could be awkward, given also the elevator buttons are given in a set order. A second hotel or mansion would be complicated to establish if they wanted to make it as organic as the first. The last option I could imagine is making a battle building where you're battling new ghost types. But that's just making the Scarescraper without the multiplayer. Yeah, it seems like their explanation makes sense. That is disgusting. What is in the chat?
Chicken cooked rare.
Here you go. This is man. This
no
is,
one should ever eat that.
No one
you'll get
cares
salmonella
about me.
Yeah.
This is the one I said I was going to get riled up about, so I got to talk about it.
Oh, this one, yeah.
EA
Sports
hasn't really done much of anything for Switch. They did FIFA and FIFA and FIFA. They've done Unravel 2, which that's great. I would love that. You know what would have made sense? Putting Unravel the first game on there as well. Why would you? What is EA's thing about going to Nintendo platforms and be like, hey, you know this franchise you love? Here's one of the installments. Why not put both of them on the Switch? I don't get it. But that was a good port, and I love that game. So I applaud that. What else has EA done for Switch? I don't know. The point is they've done nothing. And EA at first was like, we want to see... Nintendo's a very important partner, but we want to see how the Switch does. And then the Switch did really well out of the gate, and they were like, it's still early, we still want to see what happens with Switch. Now the Switch is like unmitigated success, runaway hit, and EA's still like, here's their latest comment. This is COO Blake Jorgensen talking about the Switch. We are always looking and discussing with Nintendo what else we can put on the platform. And as the platform grows, our interest in adding content grows for that platform. But we're also conscious of the fact that the top-selling titles by a long shot are all Nintendo software, which is fabulous software, but it helps us balance the realities of how big our markets could be there. But trust that we're looking at that. You will hear more things in the future about what we're putting on the platform. FIFA. We're putting more FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a load of garbage. We're also our interest in adding content grows for that platform as the platform grows. You're a piece of garbage, Mr. EA. This is so stupid. Just come out and say say the second part. That's fine. Nintendo's first party titles are really hard to go up against, and we don't think our games are well suited to that environment because we don't know that they'd be able to make a dent with that sort of competition. That applauds Nintendo software. That gives an honest answer for why you're not going to be there. The end. No, instead you're like, oh, we're going to keep watching. Stay tuned. We got things to talk about. Maybe you do. Sure, maybe there's another FIFA. Maybe you'll throw one other game the Switch's way. But basically, it's just so frustrating that they just string people along. And just be honest. I'm so tired of the double talk. It makes me so annoyed. And I don't think Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is a good game. Okay. But I'm still playing through it. Maybe my opinion will change.
It hasn't gotten any better.
Not for me.
Okay.
McGowan says they are so deep in BS that they should profit as a manure supplier. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's just been... I've said this before. I understand companies have to do PR speak from time to time. Like, you got to put on a nice face and be polite and don't want to get people upset at you. But with EA, we're so far past that point, it would be nice to just have a refreshingly honest statement. And like I said, just say the competition from Nintendo is tough. We don't know that our games will have a chance to really hit the same market saturation that they do on PS4 and Xbox One. Because we just had a story about how the Switch has managed to do in less than 3 years what the Xbox One has done in its entire lifetime. Yet you're still putting out games on Xbox One. Maybe your games on Switch would do well if you actually put the time and the care into them.
Ooh.
Because we've seen ports from other companies that do well. Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch debuted at number 1. It was the number 1 Switch title. And yes, granted, that is a long-running franchise, but people will support third-party efforts that they feel are high quality. We've seen it multiple times on the Switch, and EA hasn't given us that chance. They did FIFA, which is like a downgraded version of FIFA, and Unravel is never going to find a big audience. I think Unravel makes a lot more sense for Nintendo audiences to begin with. But yeah, instead of just giving us... Now, the port of Unravel 2 is excellent. I think they did a great job with it. But they're not really doing anything. It's the other developer. EA's just publishing. But if they really cared about Switch, they would have done Unravel 1 and 2 on the Switch, so that way you can get both the experiences. But instead, they just give us the second game, which is like what they did with Mass Effect. Here's the third game, Wii U fans, and at the same time, here's all 3 Mass Effect games in one bundle for the same price. What a giant middle finger that was to Nintendo fans. And EA is still doing it to this day. EA, if you're listening, come on the show, let's chat. I will destroy you.
Debate me, EA, you coward.
We don't need to do that. Nintendo very quickly says they have no plan, quote, no plans to launch a new Switch model during 2020. So if you're hanging on to those Switch Pro rumors, if that is true, you won't see it until 2021. Giant Reggie says, no new Switch model because the new hardware this year will be the Switch U. It's a completely different platform. Ignore that. It has Switch in the name. Yep, Switch U. Nintendo's definitely going to follow up the Wii U with the Switch U. Confuse everybody. Retailers won't know what to sell. It's going to be great. Machi. Okay. A whole bunch of multiplayer information was released for Animal Crossing New Horizons. I will give you the summary. You can have up to 8 players on a single island. You can have 8 players on one island in online and local multiplayer. You can have 4-player local multiplayer on one console. And you can only have one island per Switch. There are your details. Autumnal Blake says, this is awesome. I'll be sharing an island with my friends. And safe to say, we'll have many froggy chairs. That's all you need, really. The froggy chair is the ultimate in decoration.
Got a picture going around the family text thread of a froggy chair tattoo with a request that we, as a family, all get matching froggy chair tattoos.
Autumnal Blake also in the chat says, I will say that not only is the podcast holding up, it has been buffering or getting compression artifacts at all this time. So it's even better than before. Well, there's the jinx, but thank you.
My body is ready.
Yacht Club, who makes Shovel Knight, says they're going to make Shovel Knight forever. Yacht Club's Sean Valesco says, we're going to keep on making Shovel Knight stuff forever and ever and ever. So they're done with regular Shovel Knight. Like, that's done. They put out all the DLC that they were planning for that. We know that Shovel Knight Dig is coming out, which is a collaboration with another company. But of course, they're not going to stop doing Shovel Knight because Shovel Knight is a huge franchise for them. I would imagine they're going to take a break and do something else, or at least something completely different for Shovel Knight. Like, they're not going to just do Shovel Knight 2 and it's a side-scrolling platformer. They've been saying they wanted to do a 3D, like Mario 64 style Shovel Knight, which maybe they will do. But they have that Cyber Shadow game coming out that they're publishing for somebody else, but they're also working with them on it. So there's going to be a little bit of a break in between Shovel Knight, but it's no surprise to hear that Shovel Knight's not dead. Sykes Primero, what a great name, says, cool, but mostly disappointing. Doubt it's the only thing they do. One would hope. Yeah, they're going to do more. Don't worry about it, my friend. Sony has a survey that asks PS4 owners if they'd like to have remote play on Switch. So remote play on PS4 lets you play your PS4 when you're away from your PS4. You can play it on, I don't know, a phone, tablet, some other screen. And Sony sent out a survey asking about other hardware that people might like to play the PS4 on with remote play. They said Apple TV, and they also said the Switch. So at some point down the road, you could actually play a PS4 game remotely on your Switch, which is pretty interesting. I'm sure there's quite a few people who would like to do that.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Well, Josh, it's not my problem. Autumnal Blake says, this is interesting.
No, not at all.
Coming from Sony. I wonder if they actually have any intent to go ahead with it if the demand is there. And then our last top story, Platinum is apparently going to start a Kickstarter. This is a rumor. For The Wonderful 101, to do a port of The Wonderful 101 for Switch and PS4. There's a Kickstarter profile for Platinum Games that doesn't have anything on it yet. There's been rumors of a Switch port of The Wonderful 101 in the works for a long time now. Platinum has said multiple times that they'd like to bring The Wonderful 101 to Switch. And I will tell you that independent of this rumor, before the news came out, I have heard this exact same rumor from a very trustworthy source. So I'm going to put my stamp of approval on it. I say this is happening. And supposedly the Kickstarter is going to launch on February 3rd, 2020. So we won't have to wait very long Monday? At all to see if this rumor is true or not. So we will have a path for The Wonderful 101 on Switch. You're just going to have to Kickstart it. How much money is it going to take?
We just have to wait and see.
We're just going to have to wait and see. Very good, Josh. You're right. Entropy says, why wouldn't Ninty handle it? Yeah, it sold poorly, but sure would sell more on a console that has a way bigger user base, and it's a port, not a new game. How would the game be without the gamepad? Crap, I would miss that. I don't trust rumors, so I got my Planet of Salt ready for this one. Well, I'm telling you, my friend, trust this one. Yeah, there's certainly going to have to be some tweaks to make that game work, not on the Wii U, because the Wii U, it made use of the Wii U gamepad where you were doing different things on the games on the gamepad screen than you were on TV. You would go inside buildings on the TV, and then you would see the inside of the building on the gamepad. So things will have to be tweaked. I guess they would just take that out. When you'd go inside of a building, you'd see the building on TV rather than having it in the palm of your hand. All right. Good Lord, that was a lot of news. Mm-hmm. Kirby.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
Did you play Tetris for free?
Well, I've been playing Tetris for free at Tetris.com.
Boom, Tetris for Jeff.
No, I
Goodbye, Doom Eternal.
So last week I bought Celeste on the Switch.
Oh, the pizza.
Mama Celeste.
I'm sorry, the quote pizza, unquote. I don't want to call Mama Celeste pizza. It's something, but it ain't pizza.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like an insult to the it's an insult to real pizza. To call
frozen pizza too.
To call Mama Celeste pizza.
Anyway, you got Celeste?
I bought Celeste. I guess I've been playing that. It was probably the only thing I played this past week. And I only played like a little bit of it. I'm on like the second chapter now. So I watched you play a fair amount of this game, and I knew it was a very challenging game. But what I was not expecting was that it would get challenging pretty much from the very beginning of the game. It does.
You're too slow.
Well,
you can adjust all the options to make it easier for you.
Is that the assist mode?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
It lets you tweak like a ton of stuff. You can tweak like reaction time, invincibility. I think you can tweak like infinite double jumps. Like you can find some sort of mix to make it easier for you. It lets you adjust like by a certain amount of time your reaction time. So how much it'll allow you, how much time it'll allow you for a double jump or something like that to give you more of a buffer to work with rather than the pinpoint accuracy. And Langwin says you can tweak nipples too. Yes.
I remember this pleases my nipples.
What the heck?
But getting back to Celeste, I was like, pretty much like once you're done with the tutorial, and you start the first chapter, I was like, wow, this is really hard. Like already, there's
not even if you're going for the hidden stuff. It just regular game is hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And also it's one of those games that like keeps track of how many times you've died.
Yes.
Yeah, which it's something I could do without. That always I remember like playing Bayonetta, and it would do that, and it would like not only would it like keep track of how many times you died, it would also like grade you on how well you played, and stuff like that can like get on my nerves because it means I'm gonna like force myself to just go back and replay the same parts of the game like over and over again. And I will give Celeste credit for letting the player know that you really don't have to collect all the strawberries if you don't want to. Like it says you don't really get. Maybe you get something. I don't know. Maybe you could shed some light on this. Do you get anything for like collecting all the strawberries?
Just I think for the regular strawberries, yes.
Okay.
Like they are. I think it's the strawberry.
Meow.
You unlock something at the end. Like the very end, there's a certain place you can't go unless you got all the strawberries.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. There's something you have to get in every world that unlocks something at the very end. Maybe it's not strawberries. Maybe it's gems or something. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. But the game said something like,
Autumnal Blake says the prize for getting strawberries is kind of nothing. Yeah, crystal hearts. The crystal hearts you need to find to unlock the thing at the end. So if you want to see every level, get the crystal hearts. If you want to torture yourself, go for the strawberries.
Yeah, it was like, strawberries are great to like brag to your friends about, but
and there's not just strawberries, there's golden strawberries too.
Of course.
And golden strawberries, I believe you have to get and go through the entire level without dying once to collect them. And I was like, no.
Nope. And there are those mixtapes or whatever they are.
Yes.
That allow you to play an even harder level.
There's the regular A side, obviously, what you're playing now. Then there's B side tapes, and there's also C side, which are even harder. I did all B and C sides.
Okay.
But then the new DLC came out, which is the Farewell Chapter. I'm still playing that. Good Lord Almighty, that is super challenging.
Yeah.
It's just death after death after death.
Yeah, this game is really hard for anyone who hasn't played it.
Well, Autumnal Blake says I just slow the game down because I'm bad. I mean, that's why those things are there, for you to use them and see more of the game. When you, instead of getting so frustrated that you stop playing the game, utilize the things that are there to get past maybe a tough spot and then turn it off and go back to playing regular.
Yeah, I was just playing this morning and I was thinking to myself, if I could only just jump one more time, I could probably get through this one.
Well, like
part.
I said, I think infinite jump is one of the options you can use.
I might have to try that out eventually.
So that's all you played?
That's all I played.
Mom Brain.
Hi, how are you?
What have you been playing?
No.
Oh, nothing?
I don't think I played anything.
Yeah, I don't think you've played anything in months.
Yeah, you're right.
Got to change that.
Been
Too
a bit
busy
of a
sleeping.
dry spell.
Too busy sleeping. Well, thanks anyway, Mom Brain.
Sure thing.
Josh, have you been playing anything?
No, not at all.
Okay, Josh, thank you.
I thought he was going to say something about playing Tetris for free at Tetris.com or something.
Sure, whatever.
All right, so on to music. Oh, I'm sorry, Rami. Did you play video games?
Natalia, the sluice.
I know you love that one, and I just couldn't fit it in anywhere.
Yes, I did play some things. Thanks for asking. Lanquin, that's very sweet of you to say. I should talk about that. This week marked the return of My Parents Play.
Yay.
Unfortunately, it was not the return the way I wanted to, because I don't know what happened, but something happened with the audio and video, so that there's little tiny hiccups. So it screws up the syncing in the
Dark Metamorphosis.
There you go. That was asked for.
It screws up the syncing in the Dark Metamorphosis.
Screws up the syncing in the face cam. So the lip syncing was off from when my parents were talking, and I tried to make it work, and I couldn't after 4 hours of work. And I was like, rather than ditching the whole episode, I will edit it regularly like I used to do with Old Parents Play, where it was just gameplay. So it does exist. It seems like you guys are very happy about it. So I thought the episode was really good, which is why I didn't want to ditch it. So I went through and edited it. It's my parents playing Doom, the original Doom, the first Doom.
Yeah, not Doom Eternal.
And there's a funny story about that. So my mom and dad played Doom. You can watch it on the YouTube channel that the podcast is on right now. And my mom really liked it.
Okay.
And she got in touch with me when she got home, and she said she was going to buy Doom. And she said, "Is it this one?" And she linked me to Doom 2016 Doom. And I was like, no, don't buy that one. That's $60. I was like, the one you want is this one. And I sent her a link to the right one. I was like, this one's $5. This is the one you want.
Did you get it on Switch?
Yeah, she got it on Switch. So I know she bought it. I got to see how it's going for her, but she really liked it. So.
And I'm sorry if you said this already. She had never played it before?
Never played Doom before.
Really?
No.
Okay.
So yes, you can watch my parents play Doom if you would like. It's good to have that back. Lankman says K-Dog could at least turn and shoot. She was getting good. She did pretty good. Yeah, honestly. And yes, Parents Play is going to be back regularly. I think I know what the issue might have been with the recording, but I want to try and set it up in my office to record on my desktop, because then I don't have any worries about things not recording correctly. But I need like a table like this in there. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got a week to figure it out. So, thanks for watching that. If you watched it, if you didn't, go check it out.
If you didn't, go sit on a rock.
Well, no, that's not nice. What did I play this week? I finally had the chance to play Audica. I played Audica because it came out on Oculus Quest. I'm huge into music games, and I've been really excited about Audica, which is made by Harmonix. And now just
up already.
Just this past week, it launched
it just
on
goes
Quest.
on and on.
And what it is each of your controllers is a gun, and targets fly into the screen, and you have to shoot them with the right colored gun, but it's all set to the beat of music. And there's some targets where you have to hold the trigger and not let go, and there's some targets where you have to draw a line. So it'll be like targets that make like, I don't know, a squiggly shape, and you have to draw the line to the beat of the song. And you just feel so damn cool while you're doing it. It's so much fun. Mom Brain, I believe, was watching me do it while you watched me play a little bit. You like snuck into my room while I had the headset on.
Yeah. I was sitting, because it was Wednesday night, right? I think it was, because you had off. And we had gotten back, and I had done a couple of things, and then I sat down to read in your office because you were in there, and it was very funny to watch.
Here's something. Spam says, true story, your Parents Play episode of them playing Fortnite made my wife a Fortnite fan. Well, that's interesting. So yeah, Audica is like Beat Saber in the sense that you have like your main mechanics, and then you just play songs and go through. So that's what I'm doing. And I love music games, and I love games that make you play to the beat of a song. So I'm all about it. Well worth the wait. Really enjoying it. A lot of fun. Works really well. Looks good. Just it's exactly what I wanted it to be. What else did I play? Let me open the old Switch app here. I know one thing that I'm saving until last. Hey, Switch app, get your stuff together here. Here we go. Okay. I played some Skellboy, which you can watch a video of, and I also played some Speaking Simulator, which I think makes more sense to talk about. So Skellboy is like a Zelda game, pretty much, except like I said, when you kill enemies, sometimes they drop pieces of their body, and you can wear them to get special abilities. So like as a zombie, if you wear the zombie head, you can talk to other zombies. There's other creatures that let you like puke up things. There's things that'll make you run faster. There's body parts that'll give you more health and stuff like that. It's an interesting game, but I'm very early in on it. Now, Speaking Simulator, I did a video of, but I think Speaking Simulator is a game that might be a lot more fun to watch than it is to play. To play, it's very nerve-wracking. In Speaking Simulator, you are a robot that is pretending to be human, and you have conversations with real human, and you have to converse with them without making them suspicious that you're a robot. So you have a meter that can't be filled all the way. Otherwise, if it's full, they know you are a robot.
That was a really great story.
So to control this, you control the robot's mouth and like facial expressions, and it'll tell you what you need to do. So it'll be like move the mouth to the right and down. And you also control the robot's tongue inside of its mouth. And there's 3 buttons in the mouth, and the buttons will light up green, and you have to mash the tongue into the buttons. And if you're doing it correctly, the guy's like, thank you for talking with me. But you get like 9 seconds to do each set of commands. And it's very nerve-wracking. It's very scary. And it's a lot to wrap your head around while you're doing it. So I think watching it, I would love to watch someone else play, but playing it for me was too intense. It's just too great. First off, hi Toad64, thanks for joining. Second, Spam just put in a picture of Jeffrey Peterson.
I think we should have a picture of Jeffrey Peterson on our wall.
Jeff and Josh together.
Well, I mean, we really can't tell people what Josh looks like.
Yes, we do. We know what Josh looks like. 100%.
We do?
Crazy Colonel made a drawing of him a few weeks ago.
Yeah. I never saw this.
Not my fault. Also,
well, then whose fault is it?
Crazy Colonel is working on new podcast art for us, as in the artwork you will see if you go on iTunes or something like that.
Okay.
And it's a revamp of something he did in the past, but with the quality, like he's going way over the top on quality. Oh, I can show you some pictures of it afterwards. It's so good. So yeah, Speaking Simulator, nerve-wracking but fun to watch. And then finally,
it's not fun.
The last thing I played was last night with Du Michaels. We played for 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Whoa.
Wolfenstein Youngblood. We hadn't tried Wolfenstein Youngblood yet, and I had the whatever it was version that gives you the buddy pass, so he could download the trial one for free and play the game with me, co-op, the whole thing. So we were playing it last night, and we both really like it. The whole game's co-op. You work together to shoot Nazis. It's a Wolfenstein game, except you can level up your gun or you can like power up and upgrade your gun to make it do different things, and also to make it just better overall. You can enhance your abilities too, so you can get different moves like a tackle. You can have more health, standard upgrade stuff in a game. Also, they had a really cool thing called the Pepp System, where when you're close enough to your partner, you can hit up on the D-pad, and my character would give Michael's, a thumbs up, and it'd give you a boost in health for a little bit, which I really like. So, like, if you're getting to a really heated fight, you can run by and hit thumbs up, and you guys, like, I forget, you say something to each other, and then you get a health boost. And then you have abilities like going invisible, so you can sneak up on people and stealth kill them by, like, performing, like execution attacks, or you can throw weapons at them stealthily and take them out. So it is a lot of fun, and it's really tough right off the bat. This game is out to kick your ass. Like, we were like, oh my god, this is the beginning level, because it's really crazy, and the game has stayed that way since then. But it is a ton of fun. I'm actually really excited to get back into it. I mean, it goes to show that it was fun. We played it for 3 hours and 20 minutes straight. Now, here's the downside. The game has a considerable amount of glitches. I don't know if it's just in the Switch version or in all the versions. We had the game crash twice, which obviously is bad, but it's not terrible. Like, crashing twice. I've had games on every system crash. I don't want it to crash, but the glitches that caused more of a problem were, like, one time Dew was shooting on a gun, like a mounted gun, and he got off of it and was running around, but in my game, he was still on it.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. And in his game, he could run up to enemies and they wouldn't shoot him anymore. So he could just shoot them and take them out. Also, it happened to me where I had jumped in the air at the exact time that I died. So the game didn't know what to do. So when I hit the ground, I was alive, but I had 0 health. And I couldn't, for some reason, I couldn't turn left or right. I could only walk forward or backwards, and I could walk up to enemies and kill them, but they didn't do anything to me. And that's how we ended the game last night. We couldn't fix it, and there was something we both needed to do together. We needed to open a door together, but I couldn't interact with things, so it screwed us over. There was another glitch that happened. We would play large portions of the game okay, but there were enough times glitches popped up where it was, I don't want to say we got mad, but it's like, oh god, what's going on here? So, and one of the times the glitch fixed itself, which is great. But like I said, I haven't played the game on other platforms. I don't know how much glitches are a part of those experiences. What I can say is the Switch version looks really good. We were both, Michaels commented on it before I did. He said, wow, this looks really good. So Panic Button did a really good job there. And the game is fun enough for us to ignore or not get mad about the glitches that do happen. So we are going to continue to play it. It's a blast. I really like it. The shooting is fun. It's got motion controls, which is the way I play. We're not paying attention to the story at all. We were just like BSing with each other on the phone while playing. It does have in-game voice chat.
It's fun.
That's right, Reggie, if you want to use that. I really like it. I just wish they would fix up some of the glitches. I doubt the game's going to get another significant update now because it's been out for a while, but it's fun, and I'm sure Dew likes it even more because it's free on his end. That's a great deal. You buy the Buddy Pass version, and then you can get a friend to play with you for free. That's great. So maybe you and your friend could split the cost and pay. It's be $20 because it's not a full price game. You each pay $20, and then you can play together.
Yeah, they should.
Yes, Wolfenstein Youngblood. Sorry,
they should have
said that.
Oh yeah, yeah. They should make that like the norm for like co-op games like this.
Would be nice. They did it with this and No Way Out. No Way Out. One person buys, 2 people can play.
Okay.
So yeah, really enjoyed that. Had a lot of fun with it. Excited to play it more. I haven't played a first-person shooter in a while. It was good to play a first-person shooter, and I like the stealth mechanics. They could be cleaned up a bit, but I still like the stealth mechanics. So that's why I played. Yeah. Let's do.
You okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm great. Let's do questions. Send your questions to GoNintendo questions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendo questions@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo. They can be about Nintendo. They can be about video games in general. Or like, it'd be about whatever the hell you want. Here's a funny note about the question section. I went to the next question email today, clicked it open. It's an email from VentureBeat, the website VentureBeat. They were like, hey, really like your podcast. We want to do some advertising on your podcast. Let's talk. I was like, oh, I wish I saw this earlier. It was dated July.
Oh, no.
Well, I can't do anything with it now anyway, but apparently I missed out on that's a serious deal to get attention from VentureBeat. I'm going to email the lady later today and be like, I'm so sorry I missed this. I could direct you to Greenlit now, but can you tell me what you wanted to do? I was excited for it, but sorry about that, VentureBeat. I apologize. But today's question
much yet to learn
comes from Willis. Willis says, hi, Rex. Thanks for joining. Willis says, ahoy, hoy. Would you live in a world that had real-life Pokemon if it meant living in a world without cats or dogs? All the best, Willis. No.
No.
Okay. All right. So he says without cats or dogs. So we would have knowledge of cats and dogs. And right now, I have knowledge of Pokemon, but I've never experienced Pokemon in real life. And I would hate to get rid of cats and dogs, things that I know and love, in exchange for Pokemon, which I'm sure I would love, but I don't want to give up one love for the other love. Although,
no, not at all.
There's like 800, 900, whatever Pokemon. Yeah, I can't do that.
I love my cat.
Can't do it.
Kirby? Would you do it?
We might do it.
Think about your mom's dog.
Malakalo says, but there are cat and dog Pokemon. That is true.
Well,
there is the ice cream Pokemon, Mom.
I really do wish that my mom's dog would go away, but but then like my brother and sister, you know, they wouldn't have their dogs who they're very attached to.
Yeah. If we could set it up where it was like everybody has their dogs and cats now, and whatever you have now lives their regular life, and then once they pass away, like, just the world slowly loses all their cats and dogs, and you can't get another one to replace it. And then as a people, we can decide, do we want to start up new cats and dogs rounds again, or do we want to go to Pokemon?
No.
I still think I would go with cats and dogs.
Yeah, probably.
Because think of Pokemon. There's certain Pokemon that'd be great for pets, and then there's other ones that you could never have as a pet.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell's gonna? I mean,
like Mr. Mime.
funny joke. Ha ha ha. Mr. Mime in your house. That's funny. In real life, no, I wouldn't want that. Are you kidding me? Just Mr. Mime hanging around your house?
Yeah, imagine him like staring at you when you're like trying to sleep.
Because that's what he would do, without a doubt. There's no doubt about it. He would stand in the corner.
That is not correct.
That is correct. All right, then we're all team cats and dogs there. Sorry, we're sticking with cats and dogs.
Yeah, for sure.
Giant Reggie has the Patreon question of today. You can check out the GoNintendo Patreon on patreon.com/GoNintendo. The Patreon is just $1. That is correct. Today's Patreon question comes from Giant Reggie. He says, with the recent trend of video games mashing together previously unrelated franchises such as Mario and Rabbids, Cadence of Hyrule, Smash Bros. Ultimate, to name a few, what two video game franchises would you want to see combined into a full-fledged game with the requirement that at least one is a Nintendo franchise? Thanks, and keep doing what you do. Go Nintendo crew. Also, hi to Josh Grobot.
Thanks. Very cool.
Nintendogs and Mortal Kombat.
Whoa, really?
I mean, that's just what popped into my head right away.
Maybe combine Zelda with a JRPG.
It would be interesting to see like a Zelda that's more in a spin-off that's more in the style of a traditional RPG. It would be interesting to see what they could do with that. Langwin says Boktai and Luigi's Mansion. Ooh, Laxter says Star Fox and Metroid.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah. I like it.
I would like to see an honest to goodness Mario and Sonic combination. Like not an Olympics game. Like I want to see the two come together in some sort of like grand adventure. A platformer or something else altogether. It doesn't matter. I would just like to see those two come together other than in a sporting event.
Oh, you know what? You know what would be great if Maybe it wouldn't, but it's just a thought. Like, have Mario and Sonic be in a game where they somehow swap each other's powers, and so basically you would be playing like Sonic style levels as Mario and vice versa.
So Mario would run real fast, and Sonic would fix toilets.
Exactly.
No one cares about me.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Sonic is apparently only fast because of his shoes. So
you're too slow.
Give him, yeah. Mario could wear Sonic shoes and run really fast.
Yeah, that's probably what.
And I don't know, Sonic can dress like Mario. I mean, Sonic can already jump, so he's pretty much got it handled.
Yeah, but he'd be able to, like, stomp and use fire flowers and all that.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, I'd really have to sit down and think about it. We came up with a few ideas, but there's I'm trying to, like, I'm looking at all these posters to get ideas. Trying to think of what I would like to see the Mega Man franchise combined with. What's another robot in video games?
Rob
and Mega Man working together.
Rob.
The stack tops. What else? I don't know. That's a really good question. Because we've certainly seen plenty of franchises get combined together that you would have never expected. I mean, we just had the Switch port of Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which brings together franchises. I don't know. I'll have to think more about this.
I don't know.
Langwood says Honey. He's just talking about Zelda. Yeah, Autumnal Blake says Zelda and Honey Pop together.
No, thank you.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Laxter says Shantae in Steam World.
Oh,
that's not a bad idea.
That's a pretty good idea.
You could see like a Steam World style universe in a Shantae game. Like, especially like there's certain parts of Shantae games where they don't have robots, but they have like a mechanical feel to them because of it could be something like Shantae's uncle makes, because he's the mechanics guy. Roth says F-Zero and Wave Race and 1080 all together.
Whoa.
The ultimate race, yeah. Splatoon and Rhythm Heaven. Oh, Rex says that. That's a great idea. Splatoon and Rhythm Heaven, because music is a huge part of Splatoon, and obviously it is of Rhythm Heaven as well. But to get some Splatoon tunes in a Rhythm Heaven style game, oh man, that's a good idea. That might be my favorite. All right, thanks for your question on the Patreon there. Now, Dingly Doo. Give the Dingly Doo to yourself. Mom Brain, great job on the soundboard today.
Thank you so much.
Josh, goodbye. It was good seeing you, my friend.
Shut up. I don't care.
So negative.
And now, you all right over there?
What do you mean?
Now we will do music. Send your music to gnpodcastmusic at gmail.com.
Where?
gnpodcastmusic at gmail.com.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Is that what he sounds like?
The first song today comes from Autumnal Blake.
Okay, it's portable.
Yes.
It's either DS or 3DS. I gotta say 3DS?
Yes.
First party?
Yes.
Okay, first party, and I don't recognize it right away. That can mean one thing. Pokemon.
Yes.
Sun and Moon.
Yes.
Hey!
That was Pokemon Sun and Moon from Autumnal Blake.
Take that.
Yeah, it felt like we were really gonna hit it. Oh, that's upsetting.
That's smooth Pokemon jazz.
All right, this one that was Autumnal Blake,
Give me them
Pokemon Sun and
dissonant
Moon.
Tones.
Here comes one from Guy Bonds.
Ooh, I like it. This is a first party feel.
I think it is.
What system?
Give me a minute. It was actually Philips CDI.
That certainly narrows it down. Hotel Mario?
No.
The Wand of Gamelon?
No.
Some Zelda thing.
Link in the Faces of Evil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Link the Faces of Evil.
Here's a note for the future. If it's on the CDI, do not tell us that, because that gives us 3 game choices, really.
Well, I mean,
Well, 3 or 4.
you asked.
Yes. Well, now you know.
Your
Well,
ass.
now you do.
Put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself.
All right. So that was Link the Faces of Evil on the CDI from Guy Bones. Here comes one from Glitter
I
Bubble
just saved you
3.
from Ganon.
I know this.
Is this on the NES?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Konami?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's some kind of shmup. Some kind of shoot 'em up.
Did Konami do Life Force?
It's not Life
They
Force.
did.
Sorry, Hailey and Tom, you are not correct. That is not correct.
That is not correct. Gradius?
No.
I don't know. I can tell you it's probably a shmup, and it's Konami, and it's NES. That's all I got for you.
Give up?
I give up, yeah.
Yeah.
Stinger. Or Stinger.
I don't
As I
even.
may
I
say.
mean, I'm guessing that's a shmup. It doesn't ring a bell,
Stinger.
though.
Well, I don't know, but it's a great name. That was Stinger from Glitter Bubble 3, who stumped ya.
The Stinger Splash.
Here comes a song from Wired.
What system?
Is this at someone's funeral?
Switch.
Oh, no. Doesn't sound first party.
I don't believe it is.
Octopath Traveler?
No.
Man, I got absolutely nothing on this. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Give up.
Yeah.
Return of the Obra Dinn.
Oh,
Unholy Captives.
I haven't played that yet. That's on my to play list.
It's a great title. And that was from Wired. Wired. So we've got another song coming from Mikey3319. If you would just bear with me a moment while I find it. Sometimes I have a little bit of a problem.
You're too
Difficulty.
slow.
Here you go.
Is this Super Nintendo?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. It's obviously some sort of Wild West deal here.
You sure?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
What was that game called?
Turn it down a little bit.
Wild Guns or whatever?
No.
It's kind of crappy, so I'm going to say it's licensed.
It sure is.
Speeda Gonzalez.
Nope.
Oh, boy. It's getting bad.
What was that show?
James Bond Jr.
No, it was
Don't get hung up on the Wild West.
okay, never mind.
Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman? Is that what you're
Yeah, it's the game.
Okay, licensed games on Super Nintendo. Movie or TV show?
TV.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, it's bad.
Beep, 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 beep.
Licensed TV. It's not Home Improvement.
Nope.
Rocco.
No.
Ren and Stimpy.
No.
What else is on TV? SWAT Cats have a show or game? Krusty Super Funhouse.
No.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're giving up.
You were so close. Itchy and Scratchy.
Oh,
yeah.
damn it.
The Itchy and Scratchy game.
I guess Krusty.
From Mikey3319.
That's a point.
No, it's not a point. Well done.
Well done.
Well done to Mikey3319, who I believe is listening. So ahoy! This one comes from Blood Ocean 07. I don't know if this is right. Hold on. No. Okay. Now I know what I'm doing. Okay. This one comes from Blood Ocean 07, I think. Yeah.
I think.
I like that confidence. Some scary game.
Is it a Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Okay. What system?
Cube.
Is it the first one? Or is it Resident Evil 0?
0. Code Veronica.
I have remake.
Yeah, so it was the first one. Yes.
Yeah.
How does this happen 2 weeks in a row?
Was that just last week?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
All right, well, that was from Blood Ocean 07. It was Resident Evil Remake. And this next song comes to us from The Sacred Wolf.
Oh, I know it. It's Kirby Triple Deluxe.
You got it.
Great song.
Kirby
Oh,
Triple
and
Deluxe
there it goes.
from The Sacred Wolf.
Let it go. It gets really cool. I love fake voices.
Sounds like that instrument. The one with the mouth.
The automaton. Okay, go ahead. Great song.
That was Kirby Triple Deluxe from The Sacred Wolf. Here comes a song from Pratt Trap.
I don't even know the system.
Wii U.
Zombie U.
That's what I was going to say.
No.
I kind of like it. I do not know it. Sounds like it's kind of no. I don't know. Go ahead.
Devil's Third.
I never played that.
That was Devil's Third, sent to us by Pratt Trap.
We're not doing too hot this time.
This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Oh, guess all attacks. Oh my god, is this what I think it is? It definitely is. This is Mole Mania.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Glad you dig it.
Ho, 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 ho. Great game. You haven't played Mole Mania, play it. Oh, that's some good Game Boy music, man.
So that was Mole Mania from Jet Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Our last song this week comes to us from our friend Freddie Fro.
Oh, we know this.
Can you give me a hint?
We played it not too long ago for the first time.
And it rhymes with Freddie Fro.
You played it with us.
Evo?
Yes!
The little voices are so good.
Evo, great game. If you haven't played that, play that. Okay.
Excellent
I
game.
feel like we got 5
All
wrong.
right, so you did not get Stinger, Obra Dinn, pardon me, Itchy and Scratchy,
6 out of 10.
Devil's Third.
Autumnal Blake says 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
agree with that.
Not terrible. Not terrible. I'll take it. Well, guys, I'm very happy to report we did the show. The live stream stayed up the whole time. Looks like I did figure out what the problem was.
Great job, everyone.
So happy. So happy. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Have a great week.
All right, after show, you got a couple minutes.
I got to whiz real bad.
I got a whistle.
Is that a toothpick in the wall?
Oh yeah, I picked it up and I forgot to.
Welcome to our home.
I was carrying a whole bunch of stuff and I found that on the floor and I almost stepped on it. And I was like, let me put it somewhere.
Cats! So many cats!
You can. This is a phone. You can take it with you. Sit on the toilet. Sit on the toilet.
I just gotta pee. Look at those cats.
You say that like you don't do that on the toilet.
Spam. Those are spams. Oh, look at all of them.
Hey.
Relax. You're gonna pee yourself.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh my god. Giant Reggie says this is the most stable I've seen the podcast. No buffering or artifacts. Well, that's great. Lanquin says Royal Rumble thoughts. We did our Royal Rumble get together, and we always do.
So much. I want to hug them all.
We always throw in some cash and do a little pool. Where if you pull the winning number, you get the money. And obviously there's 2 Royal Rumbles, men's and women. And I won the women's Royal Rumble. Thoughts on the Rumble themselves. I liked the female Rumble a lot. It was good. Had lots of surprise entrants. I don't mind Charlotte winning.
Yeah.
But the men's Royal Rumble, I think, may have been one of my favorite Royal Rumbles ever. Because the first half was just so... they were really building a story with Brock and making people angry, and he was just destroying everybody. And then finally Ricochet and Drew got him out of there, and we got to more of a traditional Rumble. And then Edge returned. I mean, that's amazing in and of itself. How could you not want to? How could you not be excited about Edge coming back? And the final 4 were, people who always or usually win, and a newcomer ended up winning. It's great. I really liked that Rumble. Definitely one of my favorites. It was really, really fun. It had me yelling at the TV, certainly, and others that were here yelling at the TV.
Yeah, who won the bet on the
Jason.
Oh, it was Jason.
So yes, I loved that Rumble. Thought it was really good. Rex says, "Hey team, what should I have for breakfast?" Autumnal Blake says a croissant. Mom Brain actually just bought croissants.
Okay.
And I think she bought chocolate croissants from Costco. So I'm going to say yes. Go eat a croissant, some sort of croissant. And Rex says, I was literally thinking that. Lankman says, Edge is really great at physical acting and character work. Yeah, Edge is certainly a level above everybody else, or the majority when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's a great marriage of a character and like his physical abilities. Also, seeing him in the thing with Randy Orton on Raw the next night was great. Everybody knew Randy was going to turn on Edge just because that's what Randy does, but it's still done really well. Plus, Edge had a lot of real, like, emotional reaction based on what Randy was saying to him before he gave him an RKO. You could tell, like, they were connecting on their actual real-life relationship, which was really cool to see. Good stuff. Rex, I'm sorry, Mom Brain cannot give you the chocolate croissants through the internet. I don't believe that works. They'd have to be ordered, but I can't chocolate croissants, but you can't push them through the modem or anything. But I will report back on how good they are because they're from Costco, and I've never had them from Costco. And Costco, Kirkland's signature chocolate croissants. Spam says biscuits and gravy for breakfast. Rex says, do you like only cats or are dogs okay too? No, we love cats and dogs together. Cats and dogs. What's from The Simpsons?
What do you mean? Cats and dogs?
I think it's from The Simpsons. It's like, it's something is said about cats and dogs living together.
That's from Ghostbusters.
Is that from Ghostbusters?
It is. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria.
Yeah. Why did I... Dew and I were talking about Simpsons last night. And we were saying how we both have so many things that we say that are from The Simpsons and we don't even realize it anymore. Now I'm saying something from Ghostbusters and thinking it's from The Simpsons. All right, guys. That's the after show. I'm so glad this show went well this time.
Me
as far as streaming goes, the show's content was garbage, but we stayed live the whole time.
At least we looked professional.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Oh, we got to do our thing probably for Autumnal Blake. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Take a break. Rest. Relax. You deserve it. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.